Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Yay! Hello, Claire.
Hello.
How are
Nice to
you?
see you? I am good. How are you?
I'm absolutely buzzing. It's just, I don't know about you, but 2023 has started with an absolute bang, and I'm just having so much
It
fun.
started me being on here, so it's a good start to the year.
Is oh, thank you. Is it okay to be bouncing and happy and having fun when you run a business?
Yes, I think it's needed because you need the balance of your mental health, otherwise you could lose the plot.
Absolutely,
so, it's important.
Absolutely. So I normally have people on my show that are helping accountants and bookkeepers. Mm-hmm. But you reached out to me, and your story is absolutely brilliant. And I think we should have more accountants and bookkeepers on here saying what they're doing, because it's a difficult job, isn't it? And there's a lot of poo-pooing the bookkeepers of this world.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Do they? Is the sport called bookkeeper bashing? I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm seeing, and you're hopefully seeing it too, is more and more people are thinking, oh my goodness, these bookkeepers are amazing. We need more of them. The accountants are having a better relationship with the bookkeepers. The businesses are getting more bookkeepers and what have you. So it's a bit of an explosion in bookkeeping. So
I definitely think the last couple of years has been a big shift. And we're starting to be appreciated for the critical work that we do. So the tide is turning.
And it is critical. It's funny, really, and I don't know what your take is on this, but there's a group called the Six Figure Bookkeeper, right? Mm-hmm. They've been going a couple of years. I wonder if there's any correlation.
Oh yeah,
it could be, couldn't it? It could, because that's how we know each other, isn't it?
It is,
that's how we know each other. So come on then, tell us who you are, what you do. Let's have a little bit about it, and then I've got loads of questions about your journey and stuff like that.
Exciting. Well, I'm Claire Bartlett. I am the owner of Arden Bookkeeping. We've been going about 7 years now, I believe. Started out as, it's very cliche, but I had my daughter, needed some flexibility, and there isn't any in the accounting industry. So thought, sod it, go on my own and give it a go. And here we are 7 years later.
Fantastic. So how old's your little girl?
She's 8.
Okay. And have we had any more since?
Oh, no.
One's enough.
One child and a business is plenty. I think the business is my second child.
Right. Okay. Who comes first? Who's your favorite?
Don't ask me that.
So I've got 2 daughters. I'm very blessed, and they both go on about who's your favorite. In fact, one of them has recorded with a little sound bite, so when she texts me, it goes, "It's your favorite." So one Easter, I walked past Thornton's, and you could have an egg with the icing the child's name on.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I bought 3 Easter eggs, and they all had on them, "I'm your daddy's favorite" or something like that. And I bought one for my wife as well, so they didn't all feel left there. Kirsty St. John is another fan of the Six Figure Bookkeeper, and you're quite right, Kirsty. We don't want bookkeeper. Bookkeepers are brilliant. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And there's loads of other alliterations that we could come up with bookkeepers, isn't there?
Yeah. More bookkeeper is my favorite.
Be more book. Yeah, absolutely. And why not? Because when you're running a business, right, it's the foundation is all the bookkeeping. If that's done wrong, then the accounts don't come, the tax return doesn't come, the tax bill doesn't come, and everything else. So we've got to start right at the bottom. So what's your top tip for a small business owner watching this now? What's the key things that they should be doing with their business?
I think the key thing is to have a bookkeeper. I think a lot of businesses, especially when they start out, they all know that they need an accountant, and they believe that that's all that they need. But there's a huge gap between an accountant and, filling that gap with a bookkeeper. So some very small businesses quite often will start off trying to do their bookkeeping themselves and then hand that over to the accountant. And one, it won't be giving you a true picture of the business because it won't be accurate. But two, it will be costing you more because the accountant will be having to fix those issues. And accountants don't want to be fixing those issues. You know, they don't want to have to do anything with the bookkeeping. They want to get a nice clean set of figures that they can work with. And that's where the bookkeeper comes in. But also critically, you know, we are there for that business every day and every month. We really work with them. You know, part of my business strategy is that we want to become part of your team in the business. You know, we're not just a outsource. We don't speak to you from month to month. You know, we're a critical part of your team. And I think especially when you're starting out and you need to really know your figures, you know, and be working to those budgets and make sure that your pricings are correct. I think that's where the bookkeeper is really quite critical. So yes, that's my advice.
No, I think that's great advice. And I think the thing is what's generally happened in the past is your small business has got Gladys in, and Gladys is an old lady with grey hair and those pointy glasses, and she comes in and she does the bookkeeping, and she's got a big ledger and she sits there and does all the bookkeeping, and that's what most small business owners think a bookkeeper is.
Yeah, but I think it was a few years ago. You know, it wasn't. When I started this business to now, the entire industry has changed so dramatically. You know, when we started, we were getting the carrier bags of receipts and we were manually entering everything into Sage because that's what you did. And now I am so pleased to say that we're completely paperless here. There's no data entry. And that frees you up to be more support for the business and look at different areas for them and help drill into the figures. So I think there are still a few Gladyses around, and we all love Gladys, but you know, the times have changed, and I think the difference for businesses that they need to look at is how Gladys could be spending an entire week. She could be full-time employed, manually entering everything. And if you came to someone like ourselves, where we automate a lot of it, it could take 2 days a week. So the cost savings, you know, for the business.
Phenomenal. Yeah. And you're doing it for me, so I don't have to worry about Gladys's holiday pay, her sick pay.
Yeah, there's cover. That's one of the key things as well, looking at becoming a practice like myself instead of a sole trader, is if anything happens to me, there's a team that will pick up that work and the client doesn't suffer. Instead of if you're a sole trader, you know, there's no one. If you want a holiday, you've got to come back and still do everything. So not much of a holiday.
No, it's not. It's not. I think that is the other problem being a sole trader. So, okay, then. So little baby came along, and we're sort of like, right, I'm going to set up my own business. So was this set up in a back bedroom or something? Yeah,
exactly that. So I set up, my first aim was to fill 2 days a week. That was, you know, I was going to pay for my daughter to go to nursery 2 days, and I needed to fill that time. Put a small desk in the spare bedroom and kind of crammed in. And that was in the September, I believe, in 2015. And by the Christmas, those 2 days were full, and I needed to either increase my hours or, you know, so it's been a continuous battle thereon, because I still want to be there for my daughter and keep that flexibility.
Sure.
So the only way that I was going to continue to grow was to bring staff in.
Right. Okay. So this is the thing. I want to fill 2 days a week. You fill 2 days a week by Christmas. Perfect. You could have just stayed there.
I could have.
Why did you take that jump?
For me, it's ambition, I guess. I didn't want to. I was starting to build a reputation. I was having inquiries come through to me, and I didn't want to.
I take it that was a good reputation.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And I didn't want to be saying no to people. If they wanted me to work with them, they, you know, had heard good things about me. I didn't want to turn them away. So, but like I said, it was very important to me to grow gradually with my daughter and her needs. So I had to take on staff, but I didn't take the leap straight away into employment. I outsourced to someone locally that I knew, that they just were self-employed for a while.
Was this like a Gladys?
No. So she actually, it's a funny story actually. So I met her at antenatal with my daughter. That's how I met her. And she wanted to retrain in a new industry and came to me asking for a bit of work experience. and she's still here now. We've just last week celebrated her 5th anniversary with me. So,
wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
that's just in the employment. So, but
and your daughters are best friends.
They still have play dates. Yeah, it's funny.
Brilliant.
It's funny how the world works.
No, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, so going from I'm a sole trader. It's just me. Okay, all the business decisions. It's just me. I don't have to worry about anything. It's great, and I'm not sure whether I want to make it bigger and start employing people or not. What are the first pains that you had when you started to grow?
I think it's finding the right person. I think if you are ready to, or you just don't have the time yourself anymore, and you're looking to maybe have some help, it's about finding that person that you can trust. Because unless you want to go straight out and get a massive office and have space for you all to work, it's going to be working separately, remotely, and there's a lot of trust in that, because the accounting function, the bookkeeping function in a business is critical to that business, to your clients. So you don't want to be messing that up. You need to know that the work that's going to be done in your name is good enough. So that's still a painful point now. Recruitment is difficult. There's no getting around that. But also it is a complete mindset change. You have to start seeing it instead of almost a hobby. It's just you at home. It's a business, and you need to be documenting your processes and, be getting them to work your method and how you do things, because, that's really important. Otherwise, it just won't work.
So did you have to change your mindset?
Yes, and it did take me a while. It was quite painful, and I think for me it was different because I recruited a friend. So then it was just me and a mate doing something for a couple of days.
You and your mate in your hobby.
Yeah, and she'd come around and we'd sit around the kitchen table and work together, or we'd be working remotely. So it didn't necessarily feel like a business. And it was only when we started getting the premises and then the next member of staff, and I was like, okay, I need to, because Anna worked the way I wanted her to work, and we worked really well together. But the next person, I needed to document it. It was all just in my head, and that's not going to work. So yeah, it's a big change. It's not something to be taken lightly, but it is something that anybody can do. You just need a bit of confidence in yourself to take that leap, really.
So where did you get that confidence, Claire?
There was a little bit of faking it till you make it, a little bit of trial and error. But ultimately, it was just believing in myself that I deserved it, to be honest. I deserved success, and I was willing to work hard to get it.
Perfect. So right at the beginning then, so you started in September, and by December you'd filled your 2 days. How did you get those clients? Because that's one of the things that you struggle with, but bookkeepers struggle with, isn't it? Is finding clients. So how did you do that?
So I think I was a bit lucky in the time that I was doing it. I researched other people locally, their websites and things, and they were awful, if I'm honest. They were Gladys, who had set up their web pages when the internet was born. There wasn't a lot of competition.
Picture of a calculator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just one static page. So when I came in and I did a modern website that I just created myself, I had no budget to go and pay someone to do it. But it would look very fresh and modern, so it stood out compared to the market. I put the website out there, and I got myself on Yale.com with a free listing, and that is all I did initially.
Wow.
So
no LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter then?
None of that at the time. No.
2015, I suppose we weren't really thinking about it, were we?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's very different now, and I don't think just a website would be enough now. It's not for me. I have to continually look at improving, the marketing side of the business. But
Okay, so you're both sat around this kitchen table, and you turn around and go, right, we need another member of staff, but we haven't got the space. We need a premise. Well, how many sleepless nights did you have about that, Claire?
Oh, I think my husband was absolutely sick of the teeth of me going, should I, shouldn't I? What should we do? But it is a massive thing. It's suddenly a huge cost that you didn't have before. So you need to find the right fit. So for me, I did my research, and I found a independently let office that was just on a monthly rolling contract. So there was no commitment. So if it didn't work out or I couldn't afford it, I'd give them a month's notice and I'd be out of there.
Right.
And it took the risk away. So then I was happy to do that. And We've had 5 offices since then, I think it is, because I was so nervous. I kept getting really small offices that just fit us at that moment in time.
Okay.
But because the business was growing so much, we had to continually move. But the one I'm in now, I've signed a long lease. We're here. There's room to grow. We're good.
So how long a lease did you sign?
6 years.
Wow, that's brave, isn't it? That's brave.
It is. It's a moment where you're like, no, I believe in the business. I know that there's longevity. I need to stop questioning myself and just It's being bold, isn't it? So your first premise. Can I ask what you paid for your first premises then? God, I think it was maybe 150 or something.
Yeah.
Really
absolutely. So you go in with the attitude it doesn't matter if it fails.
Yeah.
You've now signed up a lease. So I'm not going to ask you now, but you've signed it for 6 years. That's a huge cost.
Yeah, it is.
But the way that you've been growing, the way that you're building your business, the way your clients are with you, you are going to feel this, and you don't want the cost of moving again and all of that sort of malarkey. So we can do this, we can do that, and then you start. That's absolutely amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And so your mindset didn't change too much from the kitchen table to your first office.
No.
And then from the second office to the third office, maybe. But when did your mindset change? That because you started off your business as Claire Bartlett, Gladys Services. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But you are today Ardent Bookkeeping. Yeah. And
I love that, Ardent Bookkeeping.
Yeah, well, you are. Yeah. Why not? Why not own it? Absolutely own it. Okay. And everybody in your team are also Ardent Bookkeeping. Yeah. And I'm guessing that some of your clients don't even know who you are. Because
we're getting to that. We're at the point now, and it's hard to get to this point, but I don't really get that involved in the work anymore. And I have clients who deal directly with their account managers, so they don't have any interaction with me at all. And it's kind of critical. This is the next level now. I'm getting the business to the next level.
Yeah.
And to do that, I can't be doing the day-to-day anymore. But it does take a really long time to get there.
Yeah. So at what point did you start working with a coach or mentor or somebody like that?
I don't have one.
You don't have one, but you are a member of the Six Figure Bookkeeper.
I in their Facebook group, and I know Joe and Zoe well, but I haven't done any of their courses because initially when they started out, it was more supporting the new companies and the sole traders still, and obviously I was past that. But I think they've changed that, and they're working more with all size companies now. But I haven't done any of that yet.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. And the thing is, the reason I wanted to have you on my show is because it's all possible. Yeah. We start our business, and we don't know where we're going, and we've only got to fill a couple of days a week because of the childcare. And now here you are. So what do you do day in, day out, Claire, if you're not reconciling bank accounts and scanning receipts out of the carrier bag?
So I oversee the team and make sure that the deadlines and things are working. We do offer some tax services. We do the self-assessments and things like that. So that's all on me. I do the tax side of things. But it's managing my company now. It is a business, and I need to manage that. I need to look into the future and planning the future, and working on it instead of in it, which is, again, another cliche, but that's the point that you have to get to.
Yeah. Do you know Rosalie Monroe? Rosalie
I
Monroe?
do. Yeah. She's ICB.
She's just come on to say hello. Hi, Rosalia.
Hiya.
I haven't had anyone from the ICB on my show yet, Rosalia. Maybe we can fix that. It's always best to ask these questions, don't you think, Claire?
Yeah.
So, and this is the thing. So, there's lots of people out there willing to train and help bookkeepers like you grow. Okay, so I'm working at an accountant's as a bookkeeper. Okay, I'm just about to have my first child. my boss has made it quite known that it's going to be difficult for me to come back, blah, 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 blah. And I'm fed up anyway, because they're accountants, I'm a bookkeeper, and I want to be like Claire. What should I be doing first, Claire?
So there's really important factors, insurances and things like that. Speak to places like the ICB, because they're there to help you. If you haven't got the qualifications and you're wanting to go down that route, ICB can help you, or the AAT are another good one. But you need to get certain legalities in place before doing any trading. So anti-money laundering, you need to make sure that you're covered for that. There's ones with ICB, HMRC is another one, your insurances, and then get yourself out there once you've got everything in place.
Hang on, I'm just trying to have a baby at the moment. I've got a baby brain. Hang on. So if I contacted Rosalia, would she be able to help me with all of this? Yeah.
So the ICB are great for that. I think that's sort of
Rosalia, put your contact details in the chat. So if there's anybody watching that is thinking of going that route, and I guess the Six-Figure Bookkeeper would also be a good place.
Be a really great start as well.
Good place to start and talk with other people like yourself, I suppose. Reach out on LinkedIn.
So that's one of the things I love the most about our community, bookkeeping and accounting as a whole. We're so supportive of each other now, and you can just speak to people. And I personally don't see anybody as a competition. I think there is enough work for us all.
There is.
We all have very different ways of working, and that one client might not suit me, but they'll suit someone else, So it's really important to keep those relationships going, definitely, and ask questions. I think that's one of the great things about the Six-Figure Bookkeeper group on Facebook, that people are, they can ask anything that's going on their mind, and hundreds of people will answer. So the community aspect is really brilliant.
Yeah, there's 11,000 plus.
It's crazy, isn't it?
In that group. I'm going up to Zoe's house tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah. So they're doing a load of new training videos, and I'm going up there tomorrow, and I'm going to be in one of their training videos. So
amazing!
I'm so excited! I'm going to get to have lunch with Zoe and Joe.
Oh,
so
lovely.
Looking forward to that. That'll be so much fun. But it's like you say, it's all about the collaboration. So when I first started. So I've been in this space for over 15 years now, Claire. I used to work for Digita selling tax software.
Okay.
And we had a little product that was like a CRM, but this was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked it all out and got it all working. And my demonstration, I come up with this demonstration. You could do this, this, and this, and press a few buttons, and it would send an email out to your clients and stuff like that. Stuff that all your CRM does, just like that. But back then it was quite revolutionary. Yeah. And I went to this practice, and I spent a lot of time with her. And I said, "Oh, can you write me a testimonial?" No, I'm not doing that. I said, "Well, why not? You're happy with everything, and we've done this and we've done that." She said, "I don't want people to have the advantage I've got." and today, if you'd spoken to somebody and they said, "Oh, I'm using this software," all right, they turn around and go, "Oh, how'd you get on with it?" "Oh, it's dead easy. Do you want me to show you? Let's book a Zoom and I'll show you how." And I've heard of a story. I don't know if you know Leander Dado.
No, don't think I do.
She works down in Cornwall, and I can't remember the name of the lady that helped her. She's the swimming lady, but she actually went down and stayed with her for a few days and helped her with her software.
Wow.
That's
just amazing, though, isn't it?
That is how incredible people are today.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is saying he's loving your abundance mindset. So cool. Josh is on next week, so that's interesting. So it's are you going to be really personal? Penelope Allard, yes, absolutely, Kirsty. Yeah, so she actually went down and stayed with Leander, and it was all over social media, so we all know about it, and actually helped her with her
that's so lovely
software. So,
but this is
what a change in those 15 years.
Definitely. But that's the thing, and that's why it's important to continue having the conversations as well, because no matter how many times I've met with somebody, there was always something new that we learn from each other. new processes or systems or, new people in the industry to keep an eye out. So it's really important, but it's such a welcoming community. I think that's really nice for the new starters to not be scared. And they can, I'm more than happy for people to be messaging me on LinkedIn or any of the other social platforms that are available. I'm more than happy.
But LinkedIn's the best, isn't it?
LinkedIn is the best,
How many in your team now?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow. And you were chatting just before we started. There were some stats that you said.
Yes.
I wanted to.
So these are from Rosalia, actually, from Ross at ICB. But I did a talk recently, so I asked her for some stats, and there's 64% of members registered for the ICB are sole traders. So these are the figures, and this is why I'm so passionate about telling them, if you want to, you might not want to, but if you do, you can grow something, and have a team around you and become more than just yourself working from home, and it's needed. Businesses with, and I know it's been put off now, but MTD for ITSA was a huge possibility for bookkeepers. It really can be quite a changing, a change for the industry. So it's a massive opportunity. But for me, my mindset was never turn away work. If somebody wants to work with me, I'll find a way of saying yes. I don't believe in, I see a lot of people that close their books and they're reopening them now. They're available for work and things. I just think if you just take that, it is a scary leap, but take that leap, say yes to those opportunities. Because that is one of my life affirmations, is I say yes to everything, every opportunity, because you don't know where they'll take you.
No, absolutely. That's fantastic. So one quick question before I go to your last question. You're a member of the Six-Figure community. Does that mean you are a six-figure bookkeeper, Claire?
Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah.
Boom. Way to go. Way to go. All this from 2 days a week.
I know. Yeah.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Right. So I've got one more question for you. I'm going to ask you that in just a second, but I want to just tell everybody who I've got on next week. I have got the lovely Josh Muirhead-Smith. You just saw him comment. He's a software specialist at Thomson Reuters, which is where I used to work many years ago. So he's coming on to tell us a little bit about what he's doing and how he's helping our community. So looking forward to having a chat with Josh. So he'll be on next week. My question to you, Claire, my final question. When you were at primary school, running around the playground and what have you, what did you want to be when you left school?
I wanted to be an English teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really wanted to be an English teacher.
Why specifically English?
Because I love literature. I read a lot. I don't know, that's what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Fantastic. Did you ever think you'd be running art and bookkeeping?
No, not at all. I actually hated maths at school.
Oh, right.
Never ever thought I'd go into this industry at all, but yeah.
Well, that's weird. That is weird. I loved maths. I loved maths and hated English. And I've written a book. How mad is that?
See how the tables turn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Claire, you've been absolutely amazing. Apparently, you're inspiring too. So thank you, Lucy. Thank you to everybody for coming on and saying nice things and asking questions and stuff. And Claire, thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Brilliant. And mine. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose.